What's up, everybody? I'm Mr. J. This is W.A.D. MTG, back with another wild-ass deck tech. Today I'm doing Myriam Sentinel Worm. I call the deck Double Dragons. Everybody knows what Myriam does in Teamer. It makes a copy of dragons. Flying Ward 2. So whenever a non-token dragon comes in, I create a token that's a copy of it, except that it's not legendary, which is very crucial to this deck. So the Planeswalker suite, I got Sarkhan Unbroken. He's there to draw and add mana and to spit out dragons. If I get to his ultimate and my commander's on the field, I win the game. Sarkhan Fireblood, he's there for the same thing. Card draw and discard. He can also ramp to cast dragons. If I get to his ultimate, make 4/5/5 red dragons. Ugin is one of the only pieces of interaction I've got in the whole deck. Ugin the Spirit Dragon. He's there to board wipe, and because thematically he fits in the deck, and then he can do direct damage. And on the odd case, I get to his ultimate, I gain 7 life, draw 7 cards. So he's there for card draw, life gain, and basically just removal, really. All right. So for the creatures in the deck, I get Ancient Bronze flying when he hits. Roll d20. If I do, I put X +1/+1 counters on each of up to 2 target creatures, where X is the result. Ancient Silver, similar type of thing. He's an 8/8 flyer. When he hits, I roll a d20, draw cards equal to the result. Astral Dragon, he's one of the combo pieces in the deck. If he hits and I double him up, stupid things happen, because when he enters the battlefield, create 2 tokens that are copies of target non-creature permanent, except they're 3/3 dragons in addition to their other types, and they have flying. And then I can copy like enchantments and things like that and make all kinds of stupid stuff happen. Atarka World Render, 6/4 flying trample. Whenever a dragon you control attacks against double strike. Beast Whisperer, whenever I cast a creature, draw a card. Birds of Paradise, Mana Dork. Cavern Horde Dragon, he reduces himself equal to the greatest number of artifacts an opponent controls. Flying Trample Haste. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token for each artifact that player controls. Dragon Whisper, just a low drop, 2/2. He can gain flying until end of turn. He's got fire breathing and formidable. So if I have 6 mana and nothing to do, I can create a 4/4 red dragon creature token if I have formidable. Dragon Lord Atarka, 7 mana. He's an 8/8 flying trample. Whenever he enters, he deals 5 damage divided as I choose among any number of target creatures and/or planeswalker and opponent's controls. And I can double him up, which is sweet. Dragon Lord Servant. Dragon spells cost 1 less. Dragon Master Outcast, beginning of my upkeep, if I control 6 more lands, create a 5/5 red dragon. Dragon Speaker Shaman, dragon spells cost 2 less. Dryad, he's there to fix my mana, give me additional land ramp, additional land drops per turn. Elvish Mystic, Mana Dork. Elvish Piper, she's there to pipe out dragons. Put a creature card on the battlefield for 1 green mana. Fanatic Aronis, another Mana Dork. It's got a big butt. If I have Ferocious, which will happen often in this deck because I'm dropping dragons, add 4 green mana. Goldspan Dragon, just another sweet dragon, 4/4 flying haste. Whenever he attacks or becomes a target of a spell, create a treasure. And then treasures have tap, sacrifice it, add 2. Limrith, Desert Doom, flying 5/5 dragon. Has ward 4 if it's untapped. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Then if I have fewer than 3 cards in hand, draw cards equal to the difference. Klauth, Unrivaled Ancient. This card's crucial to the deck. 4/4 flyer for 7, flying haste. Whenever he attacks, add X mana in any combination of colors, where X is the total power of attacking creatures. Spend this mana only to cast spells. Until end of turn, you don't lose mana as steps and phases end. Corliss, Scale Singer, 2 mana, it's a 1/4. I can look at the top card of my library at any time. I cast dragon spells from the top of my library. Lathless, 6/6 dragon for 6. Flying, whenever a non-token dragon enters the battlefield, create a 5/5 flyer, and it's got fire breathing. Llanowar Elves, another Mana Dork. Lotus Cobra, Mana Snake. Landfall, anytime I play a land, I add a mana of any color. Nahab the Eternal, it's here for combo. At the beginning of a post-combat main phase, I add red for each 1 life your opponent's lost this turn. Old Gnawbone, whenever a creature I control deals combat damage to a player, I create that many treasures. Oracle Moldiah, additional land drops, play lands from the top, there for ramp. Sarkhan Soul of Flame. Dragon spells cost 1 less. Then whenever a dragon enters under my control, I can have Sarkhan Soul of Flame become a copy of that dragon until end of turn. And its name is Sarkhan Soul of Flame, so the legendary rule won't apply. And it is legendary in addition to its other types, but its name's different, so I won't have to sacrifice. Scaled Nurture, mana dork that is a dragon. If I cast a dragon spell with that mana, I gain 2 life. Scourge of Valkus, there to stack all kinds of damage. Flying 4/4, he's got fire breathing. And whenever Scourge of Valkus or another dragon enters the battlefield under my control, deals X damage to target creature player, where X is the number of dragons I control. Sylvan Caryatid, it's a defender hexproof. Add 1 mana of any color. Mana dork 0/3 that has hexproof. Terror of the Peaks, there to sling damage around. 5/4 dragon for 5 with flying. Spells my opponents cast a target terror cost 3 life to cast. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under my control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. And Udvara Hellkite, flying 6/6. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, put a 6/6 red dragon creature token with flying on the battlefield. Artifacts, I got an Arcane Signet for ramp. I've got a Dragon's Horde for ramp card draw. Whenever I play a dragon, it gets a counter. I can remove a counter, draw a card, or add a mana of any color. Jade Orb of the Dragonkind. It's just a 3-drop mana rock that when I use it to cast a dragon, that dragon gets an additional +1/+1 counter on it and gains hexproof till the end, or until my next turn. Soul Rings, a gimme. The Great Henge. It costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures I control. I'm dropping dragons, so I can drop it for cheap. Adds 2 green, add 2 life, and whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under my control, put a +1/+1 counter on and draw a card. Urza's Incubator. Name dragons. Dragons cost 2 less. Demand Answers. Just a cheap draw card. I can either discard a card or I can sack an artifact in its cost. Harrow. Ramp. Sack land. Add 2 land that come in untapped. Heroic Intervention is there for some protection. Permanents I control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Sarkhan's Triumph. Search your library for any dragon creature card. Reveal it. Put it in your hand. Then shuffle. Singing Song for 3. I make 5 red. Sorceries, I've got to Cultivate. Search for 2 lands. One goes in your hand, one goes in the field. They come in tapped. Explore. I can play an additional land, draw a card. Jessica's Will. Add red for each card in target opponent's hand, or I can exile the top 3 cards of my library and play them this turn. If I have my commander, I can get them both. Nature's Lore. Search for a forest. Comes in untapped. Rite of Replication. It's got a kicker. So I can create a token that's a copy of target creature. If it was kicked, I create 5 of those tokens instead. Sky Shroud Claim. Search your library for up to 2 forest cards. Put them in the battlefield, then shuffle. They come in untapped for 4. 3 visits. Search your library for forest. Any forest. Comes into the battlefield. Untap, then shuffle. Aggravated Assault. Combo card. Untap all creatures I control. After this main phase, there's an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. Activate this ability only anytime you cast a sorcery. And I can't use what's his name? Clouth. I can't use Clouth mana to activate that. But I can use Neheb mana, and I can use treasures, and I can use Old Gnawbone mana. Aestheticism's there for protection. Normally won't play it. It's a slow play, but this deck doesn't really have any interaction, so it's just there to protect my stuff. Dragon Tempest, just another way to sling damage around. Gives all my flying creatures haste, which so all my dragons. Whenever a dragon enters, it's got the Scourge of Valkus trigger. Add X damage to target creature, or deals X damage to target creature or player, where X is the number of dragons I got. Garrick's Uprising, if I play a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Creatures have trample. Whenever a creature I control, when it enters, if I control a creature, draw a card. And then whenever I play a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Creatures have trample. Parallel Lives. Double up my tokens that I'm already making doubles of. Sneak Attack. Sneak out a dragon. Should chain it for 4. For 1 red, I can play a dragon. Has haste. Sacrifice it at the end step. Teamer Ascendancy. Creatures I control have haste. And whenever I play a dragon, power 4 or greater, draw a card. Tribute to the World Tree. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under my control, draw a card if it's power 3 or greater. Otherwise, put 2 +1/+1s on it. Up the Beanstalk. Draw a card. Whenever I play a spell with mana value 5 or greater, draw a card. I'm not going to go over the lands because fuck that, it's a bunch of land base. Deck runs good. I'm just going to skip right to the gold fishing. Here we go, $600 deck. Let's test it. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 lands, ramp card, dork, and a terror. I'm going to keep that. We'll go foothills, sack the foothills, search my deck for forest or mountain. We'll take the triome. Comes in tapped. Didn't draw for turn. There's my turn 1 draw. Untap, turn 2 drop. We'll go ahead and play the Rubon Craig. Comes in on tap, so I control a mountain. We'll go ahead, play the Mana Dork. Pass turn. Turn 3. Play Training Grounds or Training Center. Comes in on tap, so I have 2 or more opponents. Then for for 3, we're going to go ahead and Harrow. Sack the Rubon Craig. Get a forest and a mountain. They go to the battlefield. They come in untapped. Tap, tap, tap. Cultivate. Search. A mountain. A forest. One goes to the battlefield tap, the other goes to my hand. Can't do nothing else. Untap. This is turn 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what is this one? Yep. Play the Haven of the Spirit Dragon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn 4, I got Myriam. I didn't even untap that. Didn't have nothing for 1 mana anyway. Turn 5, draw. Land for turn. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go like this. 5, 6, 7, up to 8. I can either Ugin, wipe the field if I need to. I'm not going to do that because that seems stupid. So the best move is probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll go green, green, green. For Tribute to the World Tree. Then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is turn 5, by the way. Tear the Peaks. When Tear the Peaks enters, I get to draw a card for Tribute to the World Tree. And Myriam Sentinel Worm triggers. So I'm going to make a token copy of it. So there's 2 Tear the Peaks. The token enters first, and then the original enters. And the token sees the original and hits something for 5. Turn 6. This is just non-token. Remember, a creature enters. So I get to draw for the original Tear as well from Tribute. So then turn 6 is going to happen. I'm going to draw for turn. We will play a land for turn. I'll tap that land for Soul Ring. This is turn 6, guys. Turn 6. What do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana available. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and pay 2 green to explore. Draw a card. Play an additional land. It's not what I wanted, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll tap everything but the Mana Dork. Clouth. Clouth comes in. I got 2 Tear the Peaks triggers and a Myriam trigger. So we're going to resolve the Myriam trigger first. and make the token copy of the Clouth. The token copy of the Clouth comes in. I get 2 Terror of the Peaks triggers for 4, so for 8. Then the original comes in. I get 2 more Terror triggers for 8 more, so that's 16. And then combat, and then I can swing. There's 10 there. There's 18 there, and there's 24 there. So 24 more damage. And then I go main phase 2, and I got the Clouth triggers, where I can add X mana in any combination of colors, where X is the total power of attacking creatures. Spend this only to cast spells. Till end of turn, mana doesn't empty out of my mana pool. And I'm also going to get 2 Tribute to the World Tree triggers from playing the Clouth. So draw and draw. And now that I've got, what, 24? 18 and 6? Yeah, 24 mana of any color. We'll go ahead and throw that out there. We'll go ahead and Atarka. He's the one where I can deal 5 damage of any, to any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers. So, Myriam trigger. I get the token, comes in first. Token comes in first. I get 2 Terror of the Peaks triggers for 8 damage. So there's 16 more damage. Then the original one comes in, 16 more damage. And I've still got a buttload of mana. So that's 7. And here's 7 more, 14, but I've got 24. And then another Myriam trigger. Make a token. Token comes in first. It's a 7/7. So 14 damage off 2 Terror of the Peaks triggers. Then the original comes in. 14 more damage off 2 Terror of the Peaks triggers. And how much mana I got left? 7 and 7 is 14 for 24, so I got 10. So for 2 of it, in an Arcane Signet, I've got Sarkhan. Sarkhan's just going to go ahead and draw a card and discard a card. Draw a card. Ooh. Yeah, we'll discard the Ugin. So the Ugin goes to the graveyard, and now I have exactly enough mana, 8 mana, left over of the Clouth triggers to play Ancient Silver Dragon. Ancient Silver Dragon comes in. The copy comes in. I get 2 more Terror of the Peaks triggers for 8. So for 16 more. Then the original comes in. 2 more Terror of the Peaks triggers for 16 more. I'd say that's game. That's what, turn 6? Turn 5? Turn 6, I think. Crazy. Alright. Do one more. Oh, that's a mulligan. I got no lands. I can keep that one. I got a whole lot of ramp and a beanstalk. So let's keep it. Let's go with the Wooded Foothills again. Sack it. Search for the Triome, because I ain't got anything else to do turn 1. Where's the Triome? That's it. Trying to be quick, so I'll slow down a bit so that way I don't pass it. Here's the Frontier. This happens a lot. How did it... Oh, there it goes. Triumph. Comes in tap. I didn't draw. Yeah, I did. 6. No, I didn't. Didn't draw for my first turn. So now my second turn comes in. That comes in on tap. Draw for turn. We'll go ahead and play the Thicket, I think. Or the Copperline Gorge. It comes in on tap. Unless control 2 or fewer. So it's on tap for 2. We're going to... should I Beanstalk or 3 visits? I think we'll Beanstalk. Draw a card. Turn 3 on tap. Draw for turn. We'll Reflecting Pool. This kind of sucks. So we'll go 3 here. We'll harrow. We'll sack the copper line. We'll search. For a mountain and a forest. Go to the battlefield. Which I'll then tap. For 3 visits. Search again. Go steam vents. Have it come and tap so we don't lose life. Turn 4. Draw for turn. Left turn. Tap everything. Myriam. As long as I get Myriam, I usually do well. If I get Myriam turn 4, it's going to be stupid. All I need to do at this point is draw into dragons. Draw for up the beanstalk. That's something good. So it would be a little slower than last time, but we'll see. Turn 5. Untap, upkeep, draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can Jessica's Will. Somebody's going to have, I got 7 cards in hand. Somebody's going to have 5 or 6 cards in hand. So we'll go ahead and assume someone's got, let's say 6. Because it's not safe to assume someone has 7. So we'll say someone has 6 cards. We'll Jessica's Will. So we'll 1, 2, 3. Add 6 red. So I've got 6, 7, 8, 9 mana, and I can play those cards for turn. I think the right thing to do here is to spend 2 of that red, take me down to 4 for the Tempest. And let's say play the green and 1 of the red. So I'm at 3 red for Explore. Draw a card. I can play an additional land. It's a 2 or fewer, so it comes in tapped. I got 1, 2, and 3 red. That's not gonna work. I ain't got the combo for the aggravated assault, so I think I'm gonna skip the aggravated assault. It's kind of hard to tell what I should do. So I've got 5 mana. I can play the Seething Song and have 7 mana. That still don't get me to Ugin. So let's do 3 and 1, right? Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So 1 of the 3 and 1 other for the mana dork. I have two red and another. We're gonna play the Seething Song, and then we'll play the sneak attack and leave 1 red floating. And then these cards are then exiled. Exile. So going into turn 6, because that was turn 5. Draw turn. Land turn comes in on tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Didn't get a dragon, but we can 3 for the Ascendancy. Yeah, it didn't work out the way I wanted. Yep, that's gonna be not very good. Yep. And then it's slow, and I kind of got fucked here. Then on my next turn, I'll just be playing Ugin, and if it doesn't work out for me, wipe the board, try and draw with it. We'll do 1 more, because that one I got my commander out at the right time, but then I didn't have the gas to keep going. I've got a decent amount of lands, but I don't have anything to ramp me, anything to do anything right now. Protection and so a big dragon, so we'll mulligan that one. Ooh, this computer always does this to me. I'm gonna have to mulligan again. There's only one land, nothing to do. That's pretty good. I guess we'll keep that. We'll send the Udvara back. Draw turn. We will do the null. Comes in tapped. It's got a hideaway. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna go ahead and probably put the Lathless down there, which this is if I drew 7 or more damage, right? So we'll put Lathless under it, and then this other stuff goes back to the bottom. Rest on the bottom of my library. Turn 2. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Can I flip the card? Flip it. Okay. Turn 2. Draw off turn. Play the Rejuvenating Springs. Tap 2 for the Dragon Servant. Turn 3. Untap. Draw off turn. Play a land. I think the best thing to do here is go 1, 2, 3. Play the Incubator. Name Dragons. So dragons now cost 3 colorless less. Turn 4. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. I don't control forest or an island. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got 1 of each color. Just play the Myriam for 3. Turn 4. And then we'll go ahead and play the Harbor and tapped. Ain't got nothing else to do. Okay. So this is going to be turn 5. Going to turn 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5. So we got 5. Dragons cost 3 less. So if I was to Cavern Horde Dragon right now, cost 3 less, so that's 6. You have to assume somebody's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5, but you have to assume somebody's got at least 1 artifact out. It's not quite time for me to Astral Dragon, because the only real thing there is for me to copy is the Urza's Incubator, which could make my dragons cost 7 colorless less. So that's fucking nasty. Yeah, let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 3 less, 6, 8. And then we gotta assume somebody's got at least 1 artifact out. Play the Cavern Horde Dragon. Cavern Horde comes in, Sentinel Worm triggers. I make a token copy of them. They have Flying, Trample, and Haste. And so we can swing. And now we've got 12, 18 damage coming. And you got to figure I'm making at least 2 treasures out of that. Maybe 3 or 4. Because I get 1 for each artifact my opponent controls. So we'll say 2, right? So we'll say 2, because now we can pretty much do whatever we want at this point. And then that was turn. Was that turn 5? Drop to him turn 6 or turn 4. That was okay. So that was turn 5. It hit for 18. Turn 6. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dragons are 3 less. So I play that for 8. It's a non-creature. Non-creature. So I can go stupid with Astral Dragon here, or put down Dragon Tempest in the Great Henge. Maybe Aggravated Assault. So Great Henge is only going to cost 2 mana. So let's excuse me. Let's go ahead and play the Great Henge. We got 2 more mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gain 2 life. Dragons are 3 less. Now we can play the Astral Dragon. Now this is going to be stupid here. I wish I would have been able to play the Dragon Tempest, because then it would go really stupid. But I wasn't really able to do that. So we'll go ahead and play the Astral Dragon. The token copy comes in first. And he creates 2 3/3 flyers that are copies of target permanent I control. So we'll go ahead and choose with the token copy of Astral Dragon to have its token copies that are 3/3s copy the Great Henge. So now I have 3 Great Henges, but 2 of them are flyers. So I've got the original. Actually, what we'll do is we'll just go like that. So I've got a Great Henge and 2 flyers that are Great Henges, 2 dragons. So 3 total Great Henges. And then whenever a creature, it's not a non-token, is it? Whenever a non-token enters, you control, I can draw one. So all those were tokens. And then the original enters. And the original is going to copy probably the Great Henge, right? So there'll be 5 copies of the Great Henge. But the original comes in, there was only 3 of them there. So I'll get to draw 3 cards off of the original copy of Astral Dragon. 1, 2, 3. Already played my land, right? Or no, I didn't. I've been missing land drops. So we'll go ahead and drop the Bruvek. And then from there, it's absolutely ridiculous, right? So if I have one more turn after this, this would be, what, turn 7? Because turn 5, I dropped the Cavern Horde. Turn 6, I did all this nonsense. So this would be turn 7. All right, draw for turn 7. We'll go ahead and shock that in. I was mana tapped, so I couldn't really use the hideaway function of Spine Rock Knoll. But I probably can this turn. Let's see what I got. I can't make a ridiculous amount of mana to aggravate it, can I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I probably can. So for 8, I can aggravate it. And then I can swing in and then get all my additional combat step and all that nonsense. But I don't have a dragon. So I can't do any more stupid shenanigans this turn unless I can drop. So let's drop a creature. Let's go 1, 2 green, 3 green. Oh man, I've got 5 Great Henges. So I can tap that for 10 fucking mana. Play Dryad of the Elysian Grove. This is turn 7, right? So I get to draw 5 fucking times off of the Great Henge and my 4 flying dragon Great Henges. So 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can play an additional land on my turn. It's gonna be this guy here. Oh, this is fucking stupid. All right. This is gonna be cool. All right, so now I can. I can't activate Aggravated Assault off of Clouth. That sucks. If he was a different dragon, I could get ridiculous with like infinite combat steps at this point. But Clouth is only allowed to spend the mana that I produce from him on casting spells. And I'm already making a ridiculous amount of mana because I can tap my other 4 Great Henge dragons for 2 mana apiece as well. So I don't know how I'm going to track that, but we'll give it a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 mana showing, dragons are 3 less. So that means he will be. So let's do this first. Let's go. Fuck the Knoll. We'll tap that. We'll tap Divine Glimmer. We'll play the Tempest. So now the Tempest is in here. This is turn 7, mind you. Now the Tempest is in. We're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 less. So up to 8. So I'll keep 1 mana open. It'll be the Bruvek. Play the Clouth. Clouth comes in. Myriam Sentinel Worm triggers. Make a token copy of Clouth. The token copy comes in. Dragon Tempest triggers. Everything's got haste. So I've got 2. Or no, I got to count just the token. 1, 4 is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I get a 10 damage trigger off of Dragon Tempest. Then the original Cloth comes in. I get an 11 damage trigger, 11 dragons equal 11 damage trigger off of Dragon Tempest. So that's 21 more damage. And now I can enter my combat step. All my mana is tapped but one. I don't think I played an additional land on this turn with Dryad. So we'll Training Center. Now we can attack. And the attack's going to be stupid, because now we got 2 4/4s for 8. Then we got 2 6/6s for 20. Then we got another 6/6 for 26. Then we got 8 more with the 2 4/4s. 32. Make 32 mana off of Clouth, and then I can keep casting. I can Harrow off of 3 of that. Send a land, call it the forest, search, get him out in the forest, move to the battlefield, shuffle. Oh, it didn't give me my mountain, or my forest. My forest go. Forest. Now I've got 29. Drop the Aggravated Assault. I can't activate the Aggravated Assault off Cloth mana. So that sucks. And I swung with all my Great Henges. So that kind of sucks. But I can play a Nature's Lore with that mana. So I'm at 27. Search for a forest. This deck just goldfishes like a dream. It really does. I don't want the Triumph. Take the Steam Vents. Move to the battlefield. Shock myself with the Steam Vents. Where'd it go? Did it not give me the Steam Vents? How did it give me Steve Vance? Where'd it go? It somehow didn't give me the steam vents. Did it make my steam vents disappear? It doesn't really matter if the game, for whatever reason, didn't drop it on the field like it's supposed to. Because I can just go for a forest. It's fine. It should have gave me the steam. It's not giving them to me for some reason. Usually they pop up here at the top. So I should have a steam vent sort of forest on the field. It's not tracking it very well. I got too much on the field. So I add an additional land, which means I can tap all what I got left here, which is not letting me tap them all. To aggravated assault, to untap everything, get an additional combat, which is ridiculous. And then I can just go in for the same amount of stupid damage again. But I will be mana tapped, and I can only use the mana to activate spells. And I do let's aggravated assault. I get to untap. After this main phase, there's an additional combat phase. So the combat phase hasn't even started yet, and I untapped everything. I still have a buttload of Clouth mana from the original, and I can write a replication, kicked, to create 5 copies of anything. Alright? So the 5 this is fucking stupid. So this is non-token, right? Non-token. It doesn't matter, because when I bring it in, I'm just going to target the Astral Dragon, and then the Astral Dragon is going to be There's 7 copies of the Astral Dragon. And then they all come in at once. And then I'm going to get 10 more copies of Target Permanent, which I'll just target. Dragon Tempest. There's 11 of them total. All the fucking Dragon Tempest triggers hit the stack before I even hit my extra fucking combat. I think only the one that's on the field right now will trigger. No, it won't. Well, all the Astral Dragons will come in at the same time. And then when they come in at the same time, they create the tokens. So I'm really just going to get... Oh, it's whenever a dragon enters, isn't it? Whenever a dragon enters, it deals... Okay. So it's so stupid. So I get 5 and 10, 15 triggers of 7, 10 is 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I get 17 triggers of 22 damage. That was turn 7. That was turn 7. And the other one was turn 6 or turn 7. So that's double dragons. It works really good. It's stupid aggro. As long as my commander, Myriam Sentinel Worm, hits the battlefield early and I have a little bit of gas in my hand, it's off to the races. And it's just going to explode out of control and do a ridiculous amount of things. And I still have an additional combat step where I can swing in with all of this stuff. Because everything has haste, right? Oh, no, I don't think I have the stuff where everything has haste. No, but I can still swing in with all this stuff. All those dragons. And for a ridiculous amount of more damage, and I win the game. And that's it for me. I'm Mr. J. This is W.A.D. MTG. I'm out, y'all. Peace.